Hey there, and welcome back. I'm Jackie, a life coach, tarot reader, and your guide for all things self worth, personal development, and soulful living. Today, we're going to talk about a topic that I think we all struggle with, especially as women, and that is setting boundaries without feeling guilty. Whew, that's hard. Even saying it is hard. Let's be real. We are taught that saying no is being selfish or unkind in some way. And really, saying no is an act of love, not just for others, but for ourselves. It's hard. It's hard to say no. And, we don't want to disappoint anybody. We don't want the ball to be dropped. We don't want anybody to be let down because we didn't do something or whatever it is. But today we're going to go over some strategies that might help you with saying no without feeling guilty. So that guilt is heavy, isn't it? So let's look at some strategies for setting boundaries. The first step to setting boundaries is tuning into your needs. You can't possibly set a boundary if you don't know what you need in the first place. Ask yourself, where in my life am I feeling drained, resentful, or overwhelmed? That's usually a clear sign that a boundary is either missing or not being honored. You might even notice it in your relationships, your schedule, or the way you give back to other people and not give back to yourself. Your needs are valid. They don't need to be justified. You don't need justification for needing space or time to yourself or rest or any of that. Getting clear on what you need is an act of self-love for yourself and for those around you. Because when you are feeling grounded and filled up, you show up better for others. Once you know what your boundary is, the next step is to communicate it clearly, calmly, and without over-explaining. You don't need to explain yourself. You don't need to justify it. Just state it, and that's all you need to do. Let's say somebody keeps calling you late at night and it's disrupting your peace and your sleep. A boundary could be, I really love connecting with you, but if we could talk during the day, that would be so much better. That's all you have to say. You don't have to say why or make the other person feel bad for calling you. Just say, hey, I love when we talk, but daytime works better for me. Healthy boundaries are not walls that we put up. They're actually bridges to healthier relationships with ourselves and others. And yes, it may be uncomfortable at first. You might even stumble over your words. But that's okay. The more you practice, the easier it gets, I promise. Let's talk about that guilt that creeps in when you say no or set a boundary. I know that feeling all too well, for sure. The truth is, guilt is not, it doesn't mean that you're wrong. It can feel that way, but it doesn't mean that you're wrong. It means that you're breaking an old pattern, and that's a healthy thing. If you've been the yes person your whole life and always putting others first, choosing yourself can feel very uncomfortable or even scary. But guilt is just a growing pain. It doesn't mean you should backtrack. It means that you're rewriting the script, and that is powerful. Instead of saying, I feel so bad when I say no, tell yourself, I'm so proud of myself for protecting and honoring my energy. Because that's exactly what you're doing. You're protecting your energy, you're protecting your peace. And that is worth more than you can ever imagine. You are not responsible for managing everyone else's comfort, although that becomes our comfort zone, is managing everybody, are you okay? Are you okay? Do you need anything? What can I do for you? That's our MO, right? You're not responsible for other people's comfort. You're responsible for honoring your own truth and standing firm in that. That's your job. Everybody else needs to fend for themselves. You're not a superhero, even though many would look at you that way. And sometimes you wonder how you're juggling all the balls, spinning all the plates, and you might feel like superhuman sometimes because you do everything. But the important thing is to start learning that word no. It's scary. It's the scariest 2 letters you'll ever use. But practicing makes perfect. Boundaries don't mean much if we're not practicing them consistently. So the 4th step in this process is holding the line. If someone pushes back on your boundary, it's not necessarily a sign to give in. It's a sign that the boundary is actually working and it's disrupting a dynamic that was probably never healthy to begin with. You don't need to explain, defend, or convince anybody of your boundary. A simple, "this doesn't work for me," is enough. That's it. End of sentence. Remember, the people that truly love and respect you will get it, and they're gonna go along with it. The people that don't, well, you know where you stand with them, right? And maybe they don't need to be so much in your life, or maybe it's a good sign to distance yourself a little bit from them. But the people that love you and respect you are going to respect your boundaries every time. So let's recap real quick. To set healthy boundaries without guilt, you need to know what you need, speak it clearly and kindly, release the guilt, and hold the line with love. Boundaries aren't selfish, they're sacred. That's how you protect your energy, your joy, and your truth. Most of all, your peace. If you found this video to be helpful, please like and subscribe and leave me a comment on something that a boundary that you've been wanting to set. And if you've set one, how's that going? Let me know. And remember, you're allowed to take up space. You're allowed to have needs, and you're worthy of relationships that honor your truth. Sending you so much love and healthy setting boundary magic to go throughout your week. Talk to you soon. Bye.